What's up, BookTube land? Sandy back here with another video. Going to talk about my April TBR, the books that I'm looking at reading in the month of April. Now, because I've been involved in a lot of writing and finishing up and then getting ready to start some big writing projects, I really tried to get off to a really good start in my Goodreads challenge, and so I'm well ahead of schedule in my BookReads challenge. So I'm well ahead of schedule in my Goodreads book challenge, and that's a good thing because I knew that I was going to hit some periods here where I was going to be doing a little bit more writing and maybe not as much reading, and I'm at that point right now. So I'm well ahead of schedule, so that means that my TBR is going to be a little bit more modest this part of the year than normally, and we'll see how that plays out. I'll talk about my TBR next. Okay, so to begin my TBR, I am going to start at a relatively familiar place. I'm going to continue with the Truly Devious book series. Okay, so next in the Truly Devious book series, The Vanishing Stair. And I've jumped already on this book right here. It's the second book in the series, and our main character, she has solved the mystery, and now she is back, and things are starting to heat up again in The Vanishing Stair. So I'm definitely excited about continuing this book in the Truly Devious series. And again, I bought all three books and I wondered if I was ever going to get to them. And then when I got that Scribd membership for audiobooks and I saw Truly Devious on there and they had the full book on there. By the way, this one is coming in I think like a week or so from when I'm filming this video. So this one will be audiobook as well. And so I might use a little bit of that if I'm not finished with it by then. I'm off to a pretty good start in this book. So The Vanishing Stair is next. And then after that, here we go. The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson, of course, a Truly Devious novel. So definitely excited about this one as well. I actually haven't read as much about this one. I kind of bought it on faith because I liked the way that Truly Devious was originally described. So I said, well, you know what? I'll just get all three. We'll see what happens. I think I got some kind of deal on Amazon. If you buy them as a package deal, you get like 50 cents off or something like that. I don't know what it was. But I'm definitely excited about continuing the Truly Devious series. I really enjoyed the first one, and this one is off to a very good start. So again, it's got a lot of things that I enjoy in a story, a lot of mystery, boarding school, closed circle, trope kind of thing going on. So lots of interesting stuff going on in the Truly Devious series. Book 2, Book 3, I've already pre-ordered the fourth book in the Truly Devious series. So I'm truly interested. Next up, I'll talk about a couple of books that I've had on my TBRs for probably the last couple of months, just haven't had a chance to get around to because other books have jumped in and kind of jumped ahead of them in line. But I'm still excited about The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett, and I'm also excited about Good Night Beautiful by Amy Malloy. So these are a couple books that I'm really excited about jumping into and reading. I still want to get these in. I think I'm going to have time to get these in the month of April. I'm setting a rather modest goal to try to focus on these few books that I'm really interested in. And so these are two that have been on my shelf for a while, and I've pushed them back a little bit, but I'm definitely excited about getting into both of these books. This one a little bit more to do with racial issues and the issues of blending in and fitting in and culture. So I'm really excited about this one. This was highly thought of book. It was the 2020 Book of the Month, Book of the Year. So definitely excited about picking this one up. And then Good Night Beautiful. This one has got kind of like a little bit of a voyeuristic thing going, and then you got a mystery that it happens, and you got a housewife that's feeling neglected, and so it just lots of good things going on in this one. I think these are both going to be really good reads. This is probably going to be a little bit of a quicker read, but I'm definitely excited about both of these reads. Next up, I'm going to look at a nonfiction book, and I haven't been reading as much nonfiction this year, which is a disappointment. I should be reading more nonfiction. I said I was going to read more nonfiction. Last year, I said I was going to continue to read more nonfiction, and I've gotten away from that a little bit. But I saw this particular book, and I really wanted to grab it. And so it is Redefining Normal. So hopefully you can see that pretty well. It says how two foster kids beat the odds and discovered healing, happiness, and love. It's by Justin and Alexis Black. It says, growing up, They didn't believe they had a future. Together, they are building forever. So I'm really excited about this, and it kind of gets into some complex issues of growing up as a foster kid, and the things that you have to go through that are different than people who grow up in situations that are perhaps much more fortunate, and how they've been able to overcome those odds to find and build happiness. And so it sounded like a cool love story, and I'm really excited about jumping into this one. It just sounded so good, and I don't even remember how I stumbled across it, but I stumbled across it, and I thought it was just really fascinating. I'm going to read a little bit about this, so bear with me here a little bit. Alexis Black persevered through her mother's death and her father's imprisonment. And after escaping a long and abusive relationship, the college junior promised her foster parents not to date anyone for at least a year. But when she meets an incoming freshman on the first day of their scholarship program, she feels the world melt away, as though it were only the two of them in the room. Justin Black lived in the poorest section of Detroit before his parents surrendered him to the foster care system at the age of 9. But when he grabs the chance for better opportunities by pursuing higher education, he can't help but be drawn to a beautiful third-year student. At first, their past traumas and their age difference conspired to complicate their attraction. But the joy each took in the other and eventually conquered those obstacles, and these two survivors journeyed together toward healing. So I'm just really excited to jump into this one. I just think it's going to be really good. It's a true story, nonfiction, so I want to get back into some nonfiction, and this seems like a good starting point. And oh, by the way, I'm still working on finishing The Shining by Stephen King. It's really good, and I just keep putting it to the side, so I need to finish The Shining by Stephen King. So this is definitely what I want to look at finishing in the month of April. And then lastly is another book that I picked up from Book of the Month, and that is The Burning. And you know, it's by Meha Mahumdar, so hopefully I pronounced that correctly. This one it really grabbed me because there's a social media component to it, and there's kind of a fame and infamy component to it, and then you got issues of prejudice and race, and it's just really fascinating. So let me read a little bit of this. An electrifying debut novel and a literary tour de force about 3 unforgettable characters who seek to rise to the middle class, to political power, to fame in the movies, and find their lives entangled in the wake of a catastrophe in contemporary India. So, it goes a little bit different than what I've normally read, but it sounded just really, really interesting. Javon is a Muslim girl from the slums, determined to move up in life, who is accused of executing a terrorist attack on a train because of a careless comment she posted on Facebook. P.T. Sir is an opportunistic gym teacher who hitches his aspirations to a right-wing political party and finds that his own ascent depends on Javon's fall. Lovely, an irresistible outcast whose exuberant voice and dreams of Bollywood glory fill the novel with warmth and hope and humor, has the alibi that can set Javon free, but it will cost her everything she holds dear. So I like it. You got the 3 unique personalities, a controversial event, and they're kind of all tied together in this kind of complicated puzzle where one piece can unravel everything. So I'm really curious about this book, and I'm looking forward to potentially checking this out this month. So there you have it, my rather modest TBR for the month of April. We shall see how things go. I'm looking forward to getting some good reads in this month, and we shall see. Again, I've got a lot of writing projects that I'm working on right now, including finishing the horror novel that I've been writing, and then looking forward to getting started with the dystopian 5-part book series that I'm going to begin this year. I want to get 2 of the books written this year, so that's going to be an ambitious goal for me, because I'm all over the place writing all kinds of different things, and new story ideas are popping in my head all the time, and I need to clone myself a couple times over to be able to get everything done that I want to get done. done, but yet and still, you know, we don't make the rules, we just play by them. So I'm going to play by the rules and push the rules to the limit possible and try to get as much done as possible in the month of April. And I hope you do too, while also maintaining a good and healthy pace.